In this lesson, we're going to look at an additional way to navigate between multiple pages and forms in a single Anvil app. Create a new Anvil app, select Material Design, and just like we did in the last lesson, you're going to select the app bar, and in the client code section, we're going to add a new form. Only this time, instead of selecting standard page, we're going to click blank panel. Do that twice more to add 2 more pages. Add a form, blank panel, add a form, blank panel. Okay, so now we've got a form 1, a form 2, and a form 3. It looks like I didn't add that properly. Let's do that one more time, blank panel. Okay, so now form 1, as is always the case, is selected as the startup form. And just so you see, you can select any form as a startup form. Just click the menu, set as startup form, and that form can be chosen as your startup page. What we're going to do here is rename each of these forms as we named each of the pages in the last section: home, about, and contact. This one will be about, and this one will be named contact. And the approach we're going to use to navigate here is a little bit different. In the previous section, we opened up full Anvil pages. Here we have these blank panels, and what we're going to do is replace the content panel on the main Form 1 section, on the main Form 1 layout, with each of these pages. The way we do that is in code. We're going to go up to the import section and type from and a dot, and this will give us a list of all of our pages. So I'm going to select home. I'm going to do the same thing again for about. I'm going to do the same thing again for contact. And down here, I'm just going to clean things up a little bit, change my definition. I do this every time I start an app, get rid of all the little default comments so that all I have is code. Now, what we're going to do to make this run and make these pages appear on the main form is we're going to add a couple links, as we did in the previous lesson. We're going to take a column panel, drag it over here to the sidebar, and we're going to create 3 links, drop 3 link widgets into that column panel. And let's try that again. Looks like I dragged that to the wrong place. So let's try that again. Link 3. And we'll put some text on each of these. Edit the text property of that first link to say home. And let's give it an icon. I'll use the home icon. Works. And for link 2, we'll set the text property to be about. And we'll set the icon, let's use that info icon again. And for link 3, we'll set the text to be contact. And we'll make the icon the envelope icon again, same as we did previously. So now if you run this, you'll see we have our little sidebar. It can be hidden using the hamburger menu. And when we're on a mobile device or a small screen, that menu will by default be hidden, and you can open it up using the hamburger menu. And let's see, we'll stop this now. Now, to make this actually switch between the pages, we're going to want to see a little bit of content on each page. So let's drag a rich text widget in there, and we'll just add a little bit of content so we can see which page we're on. Here we'll type about. Let's copy that so we can use it later. We'll type about. And then on the contact page, let's again drag a rich text widget. We'll set that text to be contact. And then on the home page, same thing. So try which rich text widget and make that content show that we're on the home page. we go. Okay, so now when we switch to each of these forms, we see a little bit of indication that we're on the right page. Let's go back to form 1. And what I'm going to do here is just copy this code that I've got. Let's copy what we need here and paste that into the code editor. So right below our init method, we're going to add some of this code, and we're going to want to reformat that here. So let's select it and press Shift Tab. That will bring us back over to one more time, so everything is in line nicely. Python needs to have properly indented code. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. What we've done, I've got a little duplicate line there. Let's take that out. What we've done is we've added a method to the init method. So this method called link1click is going to execute when the app first runs. Let's take a look at that link1click. What this does, this method runs the clear method of the content panel widget on the page we're currently on, which is this form 1. You can see we're in the form 1 class. So what that does is it clears the content panel widget on the form 1, and then we run the add component method with the home page as the component we're going to add into that content panel. Now we've already imported all of those forms. You can see we've got a couple other methods that basically do the same thing. When the link to widget is clicked, we're going to clear the content panel, and then we're going to add the component contact, that content form. And now, same thing, when the link 3 widget is clicked, this event handler will clear the content panel again and add the component about. And I think actually what we've got here, I reversed those, so I'm going to change that to the link 2 click handler and this to the link 3 click handler. And let's go back to our design and actually set those handlers to run when the click event occurs. So on the home link here and scroll down, the click event, we want that to run the click handler for link 1. Go back to design, and we'll set this second link to do the same. We can just double click on it. We have to set that handler to actually run the function. And as you've seen, the typical method for doing that is to click on the widget that we want, to double click on the widget we want to edit the code for, to edit that event handler, and then write the code. But since I've copied and pasted this, I just need to wire up the widgets to actually run that code. So let's set the click handler for the contact link. And we can double click, or we can go over to the toolbox, the properties box, and select the click handler, the click event handler. Okay, so at this point, we should have a running app. Let's see what we've got and see if we need to debug anything. You can see when we started up, the init method ran the click 1 handler, which changed that content panel to home. Now when we click on this, we go to about, and when we click to contact, we go to the contact form. So now we've got a nice navigation set up. This method can be combined with the method that you saw in the previous lesson so that you can have top level pages and forms like this, these little blank panel forms that appear inside the content panel of that particular page. So this makes for a really nice hierarchical way to display pages. For most small apps, all you really need is a couple links, and they're handled automatically with this hamburger menu by Anvil, so that when you're on a small screen, everything appears as it should responsively. The menu isn't shown on a small screen and it is shown on a larger screen. So this method is a little bit simpler, a little bit quicker. I'd call it the preferred method to navigate between forms. And then when you need a larger structure of pages with subpanels like this, you can combine the two methods and get a very large page structure for apps that are more complicated. So that's enough for this lesson. We'll go on and learn a little bit more in the next lesson.